Alright, this is a quick demo of the 1.8 version of Ancient Earth. This is a developer version, not a release version, just so you can get an idea of how the iPhone has changed since the last release. So this is Ancient Earth. It looks pretty much the same. The globe still acts like the globe. The timescale control pretty much works the same way. Copyright, age, still the same way. What you notice is different is the top. The menus have changed. Now some of it's the same, like the button on the right still represents your current geographic location. So if you tap that, it'll plot your current position paleogeographically. In other words, wherever you are today, it'll move it back into the past. So that little icon in the center of the globe there, see it right there a little bit easier, is my location in the past. So this is where this location would have been 31 million years ago. The button to the left of that one is the action button, where it gives you the opportunity to take a screenshot and drop it somewhere like, it shows me I can drop it on the computer, I can message it, mail it, Twitter it, tweet it out, put it on Facebook, and so on. The next button, of course, is the plate locking button. It works pretty much the same as it did before. There's one minor difference. So there's I'm locked on India, so the plate locking is still working. The map is completely focused on India. The difference is that the icon now is a little bit more showy in terms of showing you that it's locked. So if you notice, there's a nice big blue border around the lock symbol to show you that it's locked. Sometimes when you come back and you left the lock on, you may not realize what's wrong. That's to help you get an idea that the map is actually locked. Double tap, goes away. Now the big change is the tools on the left. Working out all the different new features we hope to add to Ancient Earth, it did make sense to try to stick one of these things up in the toolbar for each and every tool. So I decided to make a tool menu item. So if we tap on tools, we can see the tools that we have right now. The one on the right, of course, is the help tool. That tool is just a tool to show you the different help. This has been updated a bit. Pretty straightforward. The plate lock is exactly the same plate lock that you see in the toolbar. It is over here because there are times when you may want to make adjustments and turn the plate lock without actually seeing the map. So this plate lock works the same way. As soon as I hit Siberia, it's now going to be locked. If I get out of tools and go back to the globe, you'll see that Siberia is now plate locked. And I could turn that off and move on. Now one thing I do want to show is that you can now see that the symbol is also highlighted here in the plate lock icon. So you know that it's locked. Let's turn that off. And now it's unlocked. The graticule is largely the same it used to be, but is a little bit more graphic in helping you figure things out. So if you tap on it, you get a nice little globe to show you how densely populated the lines are. So this is what a 30-degree grid would look like. Here's a 15, and here's a 10-degree grid. So you can get an idea of what it is you're going to be presenting on the globe. Now, one thing you may notice if you go back to the list, the graticule icon above it has now changed according to how densely populated your graticule is. So if I change it to nothing, it's an empty circle. If I change it to 30, we get a 30-degree line. That's another little tool to help you realize visually what's going on. Probably the most complicated of all these controls is, of course, the bookmarks. Bookmarks hasn't changed much, but I tried to do a little bit of simplification to make it a little bit easier to work with. So here is our view for the bookmarks. Bookmarks come in groups called sets. Each set is a series of bookmarks that are stored in an individual file within Ancient Earth. The reason why that's important is I have plans to make this all iCloud capable. So these sets can be synced up between eventually synced up between different OS devices for the same user, and also shared between users and put on various other platforms to store until you need them. Now, the bookmarks work pretty much as you'd expect. You tap on a bookmark and it goes back to the globe automatically, and it animates from where the globe was to where your bookmark is. Now, if we go back to tools, go back to bookmarks again, you can set how fast that animation is. Right now it's reasonably fast, but I can even set it even faster. So I will send it there. And you can see it's really quite quick on this particular device. This is an iPhone 6. Now, you can edit the list of bookmarks in the set. You can rearrange them if you want. I can get a hold of the little grabber there so we can rearrange them. Boom. So it'll be rearranged when you're done. You'll store that way. The reason why that's important, if you're telling a story through bookmarks, the order is important. So you want to make sure you have the right order. And from here you can also click on the red little circle and delete it if you wish. Now you can edit these as well. So if you tap on the info button, you see a description of the bookmark, the name, a description if there is one, and the details about what you'll see when you get there. So it's a 68 million year bookmark. Get the timescale name, where it is in the globe, and what scale. Now I may want to edit that to change it. Now, for example, if this position isn't quite right, what I would do is set the globe to exactly where I want it, come back to the bookmark, and then tap on the button on the bottom. Use current map position. That button will reset the position for that bookmark to whatever is already on the map. Can't see it here, but that's the way it has to work. Set a name, pretty easy. You can clear it out. Say rocks. Call that name, and we can give it a description. There's a clear button if you want to clear it out, and you can say rocks are cool, or I'll just call it rocks, and then I'll say down here, rocks are cool. Now you may notice that I put these hashes in front of the word rocks. The reason is this is part of the markdown syntax. It gives you a way to write HTML code without actually writing any HTML. In other words, a web page. What Ancient Earth will do is it'll go through this particular description that you write and reinterpret it and display it according to the markdown rules. So I'll just leave it as that, and I'll save it. So now you see a description. Rocks is now a headline type thing, and the rocks are cool is regular body text. So that gives you a easy way to make a rich description without having to write all the nasty HTML. Now to add a bookmark, let's go back to the globe. We're just going to do the same thing as usual. Let's go back to about 200 million years, and I'm going to say focus in on North America. To add a new bookmark, go to bookmarks and just hit the plus button in the bottom right. Now I have a new bookmark. Now as you can see, it has some information on there to tell you where it is. You might want to give it a new name. Let's call it North America. Boom, we have a bookmark. Now, just to prove that bookmark is saved, I'm going to go to another place, come back, try the North America bookmark, and it comes right back to where I had it. The last thing is we have multiple bookmark sets, at least the capability of multiple bookmark sets. All you have to do to add one is hit the plus button, say uncool geology. Create it, and now I have a file. Now this one only has one bookmark. It always comes with a default bookmark. so you're not confused if it's empty. But I can get rid of it if I choose to. But you know what? I decided I really don't want that bookmark file. I can, which I call a set, I can delete it. Or if I decide I don't really like the name, I can come back and say, I don't know. Just leave it at that. So, now that might be a problem. Let me make sure this is all working here. There we go. Now there's an interesting bug. So that's a bug. I need to fix that. But in any case, that works. Except for the bug, of course. So that gives you a quick rundown of how all these tools are now working in Ancient Earth. The next thing to do, besides fixing that one bug, is to start adding new features. iCloud's important, but also various content-oriented features. So that's where Ancient Earth stands right now.